Yeah, thank you very much, Matt. They do, and they're in the tunnel, and there's a lot of smiles actually on the faces of these Iranian footballers who are about to enter this wonderful arena in Saransk, as you say, about 450 miles southeast of Moscow, a capacity around 44,000. It'll go down to 25,000 after the tournament. It's the smallest of the host cities, but as you can tell by the noise of the vuvuzelas that are already being blown, there is going to be some atmosphere in here this evening. And actually the vuvuzelas were in good form last night outside the Portuguese hotel, to the point where Cristiano Ronaldo decided to respond when at 2 in the morning outside his window they were being blown quite vociferously, shall we say, by the support being up and up for Iran here in Saransk. The two teams are out, that familiar theme, the seven-nation army, which brings alive every single World Cup encounter plays out. And the two teams prepare themselves for the national anthems. We will start with Iran. This is, of course, adopted in 1990 following the death of the Ayatollah Khomeini. No surprise that Cristiano Ronaldo is the cheerleader amongst the Portuguese side during that national anthem. The second time those anthems have been heard side by side at a World Cup, it was back in 2006 when they last met in this competition. Portugal the winners that day, courtesy of goals from Deco and that man Cristiano Ronaldo, his first ever goal in the tournament as well. Let's run you through the two teams then. One change from the side which narrowly lost by a 0-0 against Spain in the second group game. In goal today is Berion Band across the back from left to right. Hashampi, Hosseini, for Ali Ganji and Reza Yan. Saeed Ezzatolai will be the holding midfielder. Then wide on the left-hand side, Jahan Bash, who's the player who's come in for Ansarifat. Then Amiri, Ibrahimni and Tarami on the right-hand side. And then up front, Sadar Osmoon leading the line for this Iranian side, who so far in this tournament have had to rely on an own goal, of course, to get them their victory in the opening game against Morocco. The Portuguese side sees three changes. Bernardo Silva and Gonçalo Guedes drop down to the bench. Jean Moutinho, we knew, was going to be absent through injury. Ricardo Quaresma, Adrian Silva, Andre Silva come into the starting lineup. It's a 4-4-2 as usual for Portugal. Rui Patricio's in goal. Cedric, Pepe, Jose Font and Rafael Guerrero across the back. And across midfield from right to left, Ricardo Quaresma, Adrian Silva, William Carvalho and João Mario, with Andre Silva coming in to partner Cristiano Ronaldo up front, as he did through much of the qualifying campaign for Portugal, which got them here. In qualifying, he did rather well for himself. However, not been going so well at club level. He got 9 goals to help get Portugal here, but just 2 in Serie A for AC Milan. Our referee is from Paraguay. It's Enrique Caceres. The man in charge of the VAR control room is Massimiliano Irati from Italy, and the man alongside me is the former England international Dean Ashton.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting just to see how deep Iran are going to play at the start of this game. Obviously got to get that goal if they've got any chance of progressing, but I think they'll sit very, very deep and deny Portugal space, who like to sit back themselves and counter-attack against teams. So it'll be interesting to see how Portugal will play. Will they go long towards Adrian Silva and look for Ronaldo to play off him, or will they try and pass their way through?
Well, it's been a one-man show for Portugal so far, maybe apart from that save by Rui Patricio that denied a goal for Morocco in the second of the group games. Certainly it was a one-man show against Spain for Portugal, but tonight surely they can't rely on him again to see them through to the last 16. They do want to win the game tonight though, for sure. That means they will face Russia in Moscow if they end up as group winners, and to do that of course they obviously need to win and better the result of Spain, who kick off right now against Morocco. That game over on TalkSport 2. The permutations, there are many of them. We'll keep them across them, but it's quite simple for Iran. They need to win this game to qualify for the knockout stages for the first time in their history. It is Portugal who get us underway, kicking from right to left in the opening 45 minutes. They are all in their traditional ready maroon away to our right hand side. That's the shirts and the shorts and green socks as well. Iran are all in white, and immediately Portugal settling about, having possession of the ball, with William Carvalho just dropping between the two centre halves of Pepe and Jose Font. On this left hand side, Guerrero is sent tumbling to the ground immediately. The challenge that time by Ibrahimni, who's already on a yellow card from an earlier fixture, so were they to get through, if he picks up another, of course, he will be banned from that last 16 encounter.
Yeah, just to let them know that they're not going to have any time whatsoever on the ball, but straight away the first few seconds of this game, as soon as Portugal got it at the back, Iran, every single player just retreated into their own half, not only in their own half.
The fixture, so were they to get through, if he picks up another, of course, he will be banned from that last 16 encounter.
Yep, just to let them know that they're not going to have any time whatsoever on the ball, but straight away, the first few seconds of this game, as soon as Portugal got it at the back, Iran, every single player just retreated into their own half, not only in their own half, but very, very deep straight away. Portugal went long and they won the header. That's how they're going to hopefully try and play.
And they're wide down the left-hand side. Portugal from that free kick taken by Guerreiro back into Carvalho. Happy to keep the ball and now try and probe down this left-hand side. Early ball in from Guerreiro. He was looking for Cristiano Ronaldo. No great surprise, but as Dean mentioned, plenty of white shirts back, and they get it clear deep into the Portugal half, but it's comfortably headed back by Cedric into the arms of Rui Patricio, the new Wolves keeper, away to our right-hand side.
Well, William Carvalho is going to have so many touches of the ball in this game. He keeps dropping deep already in between the two centre-backs, Pepe and Jose Font, to pick the ball up. And they're going to have to be inventive, Portugal, because Iran they're just not going to come out. That's not the way they play. They like to sit and wait for their opportunities, pick and choose when they go forwards. So they're going to have to find a way through, Portugal. They might have to be very patient.
Tremendous noise inside the Mordovia Arena. 2 minutes played, 0-0 on Talk Sport. Down the right-hand side, the finale of Group B here, of course, with Spain taking on Morocco over on Talk Sport 2. All 64 games live across the Talk Sport network of this FIFA World Cup. We've already seen 91 goals in the competition. I'm sure we'll be adding to that tonight as Carvalho chips that forward down the left-hand side. João Mario flicks it back inside to Ronaldo inside the penalty area. Cristiano Ronaldo with a shot. The keeper spills it, but gathers it at the second attempt. There was plenty of power in it for around about 12 yards out, but it's gathered up by Beiron Vand and cleared for Iran.
Oh, what a pass that is from William Carvalho. If a team's going to sit very narrow and deep, you've got to use the width. Plays a brilliant ball over the top to João Mario. Lovely little back heel volley to Cristiano Ronaldo. Gets it out of his feet and doesn't even take an extra touch. Just one little touch and shoots straight away. Great power in the shot, but straight at the goalkeeper. Brilliant ball from William Carvalho. Sometimes you've just got to bypass everyone with a quality pass.
Well, he's only made a couple of starts for his club, 2 club starts since March, of course, and now looking to leave Sporting following the attack on the players at the training ground. One of a few. I mentioned Rui Patricio already making that move to Wolves as well. They're going to lose a fair few of their stars. Carvalho, of course, who came very close to a move to West Ham previously as well. Real high quality from him early on in this game. 3.5 minutes in. They call him Sir William. I was talking a little earlier to someone who says he's just a little bit ponderous and slow at time, but when you've got that quality in your feet, you can tolerate the fact he just takes maybe a few seconds more than some individuals. Here's Jose Font coming forward into the feet of Carvalho again, deep inside his own half. Just lays the ball off to Pepe at the edge of the penalty area. And here comes Font again. Another one who's been lacking first team football for his club, of course. Hasn't actually won a game since he left West Ham in January and went to China. Here they come charging down the left-hand side again. Adrian Silva trying to put a bit of pressure on, or Andre Silva should I say, and then it comes back to Adrian Silva and into Carvalho. They're 35 yards from goal here, Portugal. Decent run down the left-hand side by Andre Silva. Ball just runs out of play. He's clattered into, and the referee, I think, is going to give a goal kick here to Iran, much to the disgust of Andre Silva, who felt that should have been a foul for the challenge from Reza Young.
Yeah, but he was looking for it. He just got his body in the way, and as soon as he felt a bit of contact, he went to ground. I've done that many times myself, and generally you get a free kick, but well played the referee. He spotted that straight away. Goal kick to Iran, but really, really sharp start from Portugal, especially down there left-hand side. Good movements from both Mario and Andre Silva.
5 minutes played on Talk Sport, it's 0-0. Here come Iran forward towards the edge of the Portugal penalty area. Guerreiro on this near side has some defending to do. He was put under a little bit of pressure that time by Jahan Bash, who has come into the starting 11. He did start the opening fixture against Morocco. And he's back in today from Carlos Queiroz. No change of shape though, that familiar, solid base that they look to build on.
No, but it was good. It was good to just see the numbers that got forward then, Iran. So it's clearly when they do get that chance, they're going to allow the forward players all to burst forwards. They know they've got to get that goal. So I think if they can do it in an organised fashion, that's going to give them the best chance of getting that goal on the counter-attack.
And the thing is, it probably will only be one goal, because only once have they scored more than one in a World Cup fixture. That was in that victory against the USA back in 1998 by 2-1. Still wasn't enough though to get them out of the group stages and into the knockout part of the competition. That would be a first tonight, hence why we describe it as the biggest night really in the history of Iranian football. Into the centre, they pick it up again here with Jahan Bash pushing it out wide to the right hand side. Here is Reza Yan from deep inside his own half, early ball forward, and now Jahan Bash down the right hand side, chance to get in here. Jean Mario tracks back on his right foot, plays it square to the edge of the box, shots driven in but well wide. First time from Amiri, who was arriving at the edge of the penalty area but just couldn't get it away decently on that left foot of his, and he puts it well wide.
And there's the threat, pacey on the break actually, Iran. Really good movement from Jahan Bash, and as soon as that ball got flicked into him from Amuz, he then looked, he waited and waited for support, and Amiri on the edge of the box, it comes across, it's there to be hit, and he takes them really big long strides before he hits it, rather than setting himself little steps before he takes the strike. Big long strides, gets it all wrong and slices it wide. That was actually a really good chance for Iran.
It was a decent pass as well, took the time to look up and see what was arriving, and there was bodies arriving, which is a good sign as to how they're approaching this game. 7 minutes played on TalkSport. Iran 0, Portugal 0. Still goalless as well in the other game in this group between Spain and Morocco. On halfway, here's Carvalho, a rare foray forward into the opposition half. Gets it back inside his own half to Jose Font now, who will come forward over halfway, the former Southampton and West Ham man, to Ronaldo, who gives possession away, and immediately Iran look to attack down the right hand side, and just trying to play the ball between the legs there of Font was Jahan Bash, but Font manages to read that, block it out, and it's a throw for Iran on the right hand side.
Well, what it did show Iran, and it'll give them some confidence, is that there isn't a lot of pace at the back for Portugal. Talked about it before the game, not getting any younger, not getting any quicker, and they'll be buoyed by the fact that they created that chance just because of that pace.
Now down the left hand side, away goes Andre Silva towards the corner flag. His run is just checked on this occasion and held up by Pour Ali Ganji. Still has possession down the left hand side though, Silva, waiting for some support to arrive. He goes deep back towards Carvalho, who 35 yards out from goal, lifts it in towards the keeper. Oh, it's taken out of his hands by his own centre half that time. In fact, it was Eza Talahi that did it, and there's fury from Bayron Van as the shot in the end from João Mario goes over the top of the bar. But what an opportunity for Portugal, based on a real mix-up at the back for Iran.
Bayron Van is absolutely furious with poor Alaganji. There's no need, he must have called to his centre-back, because he was there just to take it into his arms. The defender's gone to clear it. That's the pressures of playing at a World Cup. The goalkeeper pushes his centre-backs, he's not happy. They got away with that because João Mario, if he'd have kept that down, that would have been 1-0. That's what they don't need. They don't need a silly mistake.
And the fans and journalists actually say that Bayron Van is not the best goalkeeper in this squad, but he's got his place. He got a red card against Guam in qualifying, made an error as well against Tunisia, so he's not the most popular, despite keeping 11 clean sheets in his 12 qualifying appearances, and does have a little bit of a temper on him, as we've seen already. A little bit of fury with Eza Talahi, who got in his way inside the penalty area. Almost 10 minutes played, 0-0 on TalkSport. Here is, on this near side, João Mario, midway inside his own half, just loses out as Reza Young gets forward. It's a looped ball up towards Silva, but nowhere in his vicinity, and it's easily into the arms of Bayron Van away to our left hand side, who's all in blue for Iran, and immediately bowling the ball out to the left hand side. It's a real mix of support inside the Mordovia arena. The vuvuzelas very much being blown by the Iranian support that's made the journey, and Font there just cuts in to clear a ball away as Patrizio was coming out, but he sensed danger, and it's a throw to Iran on the left-hand side, level with the edge of the 6-yard box.
Taremi was just behind him as well. It was a good decision from Jose Font. Sometimes you've got to just clear your lines and ask questions after.
Here's the throw, and it's going to be launched forward by Shafi, the left back. It's a decent one as well towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Is headed away this time by Pepe, and the referee feels there's a shove in the penalty area, and it will be a free kick for Portugal and a chance to clear their lines. You've had almost 11 minutes on TalkSport. It's the World Cup live, and it's Iran 0, Portugal 0.
Well, I feel like we've already seen more just in this opening 10 minutes from Iran than we have possibly in the first two games. They very organised in the way they defend, but they are pushing men forward on the counter-attack, trying to take it to that Portugal back line, and so far it's made for a very, very interesting start.
Long ball looped forward in towards Ronaldo in the penalty area, comes out towards the edge of the box where Quaresma was just about to arrive and try and get a shot away, but it's cleared out as far as halfway, where Font will pick it up once more for Portugal. Into Carvalho at the edge of the centre circle. His ball forward is well picked up by Silva and just helped wide onto that right-hand side where Quaresma's there. Early cross in towards Ronaldo, and it's missed by the keeper who'd come out. And Reza Yan at the edge of the 6-yard box takes it down and gets the clearance away. And not for the first time in the opening exchanges here. There's a few hearts in mouths in that Iranian defence.
Again, space out wide for Portugal, and I said before the game that they need to look to get balls into the box if they've got Andre Silva and Ronaldo. That aerial power, Quaresma first thought, just got it out of his feet, whipped a great ball in, didn't look convincing again. Biranval came and didn't even get anywhere near it. They do look a threat from crosses from the wide area, Portugal.
Adrian Silva just combining nicely with Cristiano Ronaldo in the centre. Well, Ronaldo's done really well there, steps away from Eza Tolahi, pushing out wide to the right-hand side where Quaresma's there. He's continued his run into the box. Quaresma's ball in. Oh, it's fumbled by the keeper again in the 6-yard box, and it's hurriedly cleared away. Well, it's like a bar of soap to him right now. That's the third time he's dropped the ball inside the penalty area in the opening 12 minutes, and they're still on the attack. The cross from Guerrero's a decent one towards Ronaldo, but it's headed clear this time and away by Hosseini.
Well, the deliveries are brilliant. They really are. Real pace to the deliveries. There to be attacked, but again, Biranval, that bottle of water that he's got inside his goal, just grab that and give that a massive squirt in your face, because he's looked so shaky to start with.
Quaresma away again down the right-hand side towards the byline, gets the crossover towards Ronaldo, and it's a decent header away this time, again by Reza Yan on this near side, and he's just asking for some help from his back line here, let alone the goalkeeper, who now claps his hands as if to say, well, what are you lot all doing? I mean, I've never seen a keeper fumble it quite so much in the early exchanges.
No, he's clearly rattled at the start of this game. Sometimes it just takes that first incident that you have. It's really difficult to get over it, and he's not yet settled down.
Quaresma to take this in Group B, of course, of the World Cup we are. The chance to take on the winners will face Russia. The runners-up will face Uruguay, who defeated Russia earlier today. And in the other game, it's Spain 0, Morocco 1.
Wow.
Just to add things into the mix. I mentioned it was complicated scenarios as to who could finish top, who could finish second, and who's finishing third in this group. It may well have just got a little bit more complicated. Here's the corner out wide from this near side. It's driven in towards the near post where the run had been made by Font, and it will be a second corner for Portugal on the right-hand side. Yeah,
they just have to get through this little period. The goalkeeper hasn't helped. That then in turn won't give confidence to the back four of Iran. And Portugal will be, they will be dangerous from set plays. They've got so many players who are aggressive in the way they attack the ball.
Morocco were a decent side. They looked it coming into this tournament, disappointed in their first two games, but in front against Spain as the corner is swung over again towards the edge of the penalty area. This time it comes out, and at that point Adrian Silva is fouled in his left thigh, and that's going to be a free kick. And this is a couple of yards outside the box, and there are four white shirts just gathering round Enrique Caceres, who immediately waves them away. And no surprise, Ronaldo's got the ball in hand.
Yeah, it just got caught, Adrian Silva, hardly anything in it whatsoever. Goes down, wins a free kick, and you're right, Cristiano Ronaldo came straight over, kissed the ball, pulls his shorts up to reveal them rippling thighs.
As things stand,
It's almost identical, the position, to where it was against Spain the other night.
it is about 3 or 4 yards to the right-hand side of the edge of the D, and it's about 25 yards from goal. Surely he's just going to try and make the keeper work here based on what we've seen from Beidon Van so far. The shorts are hitched up indeed. It's a run-up of about 7 or 8 paces here for Cristiano Ronaldo. There's 6 in the wall. Ronaldo hits it, it hits the wall, and it spins away and out of play for what will be a corner. Ronaldo is in the ear of referee Caceres to say that came off a hand, not just off a shoulder, but I think it looks like it was off the head of one of the defenders. Oh, there is an arm, but he's turned away. Not sure you'll be giving a penalty for that.
That's Moon. As he's turned his back, his elbow's come out like just slightly, and it's caught the elbow. That would be unbelievably harsh.
Tademi was the player it struck. Again, the referee just sorting out any holding inside the penalty area as Quaresma looks to deliver from the corner out wide on this left-hand side. He goes to Carvalho at the back post, who nods it back towards Ronaldo. Font tries to volley it acrobatically from the edge of the penalty area. It's comfortably blocked and then cleared away by Jahan Bash. It's back forward now down the left-hand side for Portugal to Quaresma again, who just slips the ball into some space on this near touchline. It's chased down by Silva, and Andre Silva just uses his force really to get the better that time of Porali Ganji, who was adamant it was a foul. The referee's not interested, and they do have themselves another corner.
Decent turn of pace, Andre Silva, and aggressive as well. He needs to be, because Ronaldo's going to sit a little bit deeper. He's going to have to battle against both of the centre-backs. Did well there to win the corner. Some sustained pressure from Portugal now.
It's their 4th corner, and we're only 17 minutes into the game here on TalkSport. Iran 0, Portugal 0. Swung over again, the keeper this time gets a punch on it. Beidon Van out as far as Adrian Silva, who loads it back into the box, and he was trying to get on the end of Pepe there, but he gets the final touch, and it's out for what will be a goal kick to Iran away to our left-hand side, and a chance for them to relieve some of that pressure. A reminder elsewhere in the group, the game that's live over on our sister station TalkSport 2. It is Spain 0, Morocco 1. An uncharacteristic moment where they gave the ball away at the back and Spain are behind. However, as things stand, they would still qualify in 2nd place in this group, and they would be taking on Uruguay in Sochi. That's if things stay as they are. 18 minutes on the clock. 0-0 here. Taking his time over this is Beidon Van, and probably no great surprise. He probably just needed a moment to gather himself after an extraordinary opening 18 minutes in which he's been in the thick of the action so far, and somehow his goal is unscathed.
He's got away with it, hasn't he? He'll just needs to calm himself.
I think the phrase is things can only get better for him really in this game.
Absolutely, yeah.
They can't really get any worse.
He could really do with just claiming across and settling himself down, but Portugal's tempo has been very, very good in this opening 18 minutes.
It's a long ball forward that finds the head of Silva inside the penalty area, but his flick on it makes it comfortably into the arms of Beidon Van away to our left-hand side, who immediately hurls his long throw out, a decent one as well, over halfway, as Iran tried to make some moves early here. Ibrahimni gets the ball in field, it's hit the referee and falls quite nicely for Amiri, and they keep possession. First time they've really held possession quite steadily in the Portugal half in this game. Early ball played into the penalty area. This time though, it's headed away by Font. It's controlled inside the box by Taremi, who then just turns. He's got 3 shirts around him, but immediately he gets the ball out and away to Hashsafi, who loses possession at the edge of the penalty area, and now, as they so often do, they come on the counter, Portugal here. Ronaldo with a little layoff, thought he was fouled, I think, in the process. The referee waves it away, and now Iran with a chance to counter and break forward. Little flick up into the air that time from Osmoon, taken down at the edge of the penalty area. Lovely nutmeg on Adrian Silva, and that's going to be a free kick. Decent bit of play from Ezatura Army, and Isco has equalised for Spain in that game as well. Normal service has been resumed.
It certainly has, and what a lovely little bit of skill from Hajsafi against Adrian Silva. Just a neat little nutmeg to embarrass him and win his team a free kick. And again, they do look dangerous on the counter-attack, Iran.
Spain 1, Morocco 1 then in the other game in Group B. Here in the Mordovia Arena in Saransk on TalkSport, it's 0-0. 20 minutes on the clock. First chance from a set piece here for Iran to do something. There's 5 in the Portuguese wall. It's about 25 yards out. It's to the left of the left-hand edge of the D. No surprise that Hash Safi is over it, maybe to swing it in with his left foot. Unless, of course, they choose to go straight for goal. And I think Osmoon is making those kind of feelings felt, that he fancies a shot on target here with his right foot.
Well, it's well within range. And with that magic foam spray, you just got that distance to be able to get it up and down. But it would be a fantastic free kick from this distance.
Oh, it certainly would. In fact, Osmoon's not going to take it. There's two in the wall for Iran here as well. 21 minutes played. Is this the moment they can draw first blood in this game? Right-footed, it's all just over the top of Rui Patricio's bar. That's a decent curling effort. He did get it up and over the wall, but in the end it's beyond the outstretched arms of the Wolverhampton goalkeeper and beyond his right-hand post.
Yeah, interesting to see both fullbacks over the ball, and it was Rejan who had the bravery to take that free kick, but he got it wrong. You could see he was trying to get it up and over the wall. Certainly got the power, but just that extra bit of height.
Oh, Quaresma's away here down the right-hand side for Portugal. Early ball in towards Ronaldo, headed away again by Rezian really well. And now a chance to counter maybe. Osmoon has it down the left-hand side for Iran, deep inside the Portugal half. He's got support ahead of him. Lovely ball through the middle. Patricio has to come out, and he takes it about 12 yards out. And he had no choice to do that. Jahan Bash was charging in. Amiri was there too. And Patricio looks like he may have been caught in the process.
Clever ball from Osmoon. Just waited and waited to make the pass. He won the ball originally to set the counter-attack away, and then he just waited for support from Amiri and Jahan Bash. I think Jahan Bash, as he's just gone in with Patricio, he's had every right to try and nick the ball away, and he just catches Patricio on the head accidentally. Actually tries to pull out of the challenge, but still catches the goalkeeper on the forehead. Just hope he's okay.
Well, he's having some treatment right now. Physio is on. A reminder, all 64 games of the World Cup across the TalkSport network. We are into the double-headed fixtures, of course. Already today, Saudi Arabia beating Egypt, Uruguay getting the better of Russia. As things stand, it's 0-0 here in Savansk. Well, Spain won, Morocco won right now. Tomorrow afternoon for you, Australia take on Peru in Sochi. Denmark against France, that's the game in Moscow. Those matches, of course, split across TalkSport and TalkSport 2. And then tomorrow night, a huge night for Lionel Messi and co. Iceland against Croatia, Nigeria against Argentina as well. Are we going to see Messi maybe end his international career with a failure at this World Cup and head home? We will have those games live for you throughout the day tomorrow here on TalkSport and TalkSport 2.
Well, I mean, it's been anything but cagey, hasn't it, this opening 23 minutes. It's been entertaining, both sides looking to counter-attack, and Portugal have looked dangerous from crosses from the right and the left. And then that counter-attacking style that Carlos Queiroz likes to play with his Iran team. They have got that pace with Osmoon, Jahan Bash and Taremi all looking to burst forward.
I don't think it's the kind of game where we ever expected we were going to see buckets of goals. It's going to be a tight affair, isn't it? And if Iran are going to win this, it's going to be one of those moments that will be remembered for many years to come. We mentioned how they kept 12 clean sheets in their last 13 qualifying games. When you think that Portugal qualified conceding just 4 goals as well in their 9 wins from their 10 qualifying games, I think it shows that both these sides are very much built on that defensive prowess and the opportunity at times to catch teams on the break. Carvalho's given that ball away midway inside his own half. Couple of lucky ricochets fall quite nicely though for Portugal and for Quaresma, who then has the ball via the centre circle and out wide to the left hand side to Rafael Guerreiro, and Guerreiro will have a chance to come forward here. The Borussia Dortmund fullback then finds João Mario back onto his right foot to Guerreiro once more, who didn't feature too much for Dortmund towards the back end of the season after injury. Here is Mario cutting infield back towards halfway where Font is there. And then Silva, who's looking lively and energetic in the middle of the park for Portugal in place of Moutinho, who's absent through injury today. Here is Silva again. Limited opportunities in the second half of the season for him, of course, at Leicester. After his deadline day move at the beginning of September was 14 seconds too late. He, of course, took the number 14 shirt for Leicester in a rather ironic moment. He's on the ball now, so he will be fresh. There's no doubt about that. There's no fatigue from him from a long season. Silva has it. 10 yards inside the Iran half. He goes back to halfway. And here's Pepe plying his trade now, of course, at Besiktas after his 10 years at Real Madrid. He finds his former colleague Ronaldo. The ball slipped through to Silva, and Silva was, I think, fully aware, Andre Silva, he was offside, and the flag is raised, and that will be a free kick for Iran.
Yeah, he knew straight away. He knew he'd gone too early. He was hoping for that pass to be played first time from Cristiano Ronaldo. And Cristiano Ronaldo actually looked like he wanted to shoot, even though it was really far out, so that extra touch then meant Andre Silva was offside. But I think the Portuguese coach, Fernando Santos, has really done his homework, and rather than trying to play into midfield and trying to play into them little gaps that aren't really there because of Iran's formation, they're almost like making a circle all the way round Iran's whole team and looking to just try and play and switch really quickly and get the ball wide and then get it into the box. And then every now and again you'll just see Cristiano Ronaldo just pop into that space in the middle, and then he'll disappear again.
Here comes Carvalho, over halfway for Portugal, out wide to the left-hand side where he finds Cristiano Ronaldo. Decent bit of control from Carlos Queiroz on the near touchline. And the throw-in taken quickly by Portugal to Font into centre field where he finds Adrian Silva. Pepe pushing to the right-hand side for Silva again, and now supporting one of the first times in the game is Cedric, who then pushes it down the line where the run's been made by Andre Silva this time. Tries to give it back to Cedric on that far side. They just about keep possession again. Flicked off an Iranian leg, but falls quite nicely for the European champions. Here is Font, looking to, of course, try and win the World Cup to sit alongside that European trophy. They'd be the third team to have done it. Spain, of course, won the Euros in 2008 and then the World Cup in 2010. West Germany, it was the Euros of 72 before the World Cup of 74. France did it the other way round. They won the World Cup in 98 before the Euros of 2000. But a long way to go yet before we can start thinking about that. They still have to qualify from their group, which, as if things stay as they are, they will do right now. But they will find themselves in second place and taking on Uruguay as things stand.
They're going to have to be patient, Portugal. Plenty of possession then, just keep switching the ball. Iran not moving whatsoever, just shuffling across just as a unit, no one coming out of their positions to leave any space. Portugal looking to just constantly trying to get it wide to then get the opportunity to fire that cross in.
They have possession at the edge of their own penalty area. Iran, 28 and a half minutes played. It's 0-0 on TalkSport. Infield it goes to Andre Silva, then out to Mario again on this near touchline. Right-footed Carvalho just sweeps the ball out to that right-hand side, and then it's slipped down the line for Quaresma, who nips inside the penalty area here. Plenty of options for Quaresma as he tries to lift it over again, looking to try and find Ronaldo, who is the edge of the 6-yard area. Hosseini is the player this time that blocks it out, and Portugal have another corner. This time on the right.
He's got to play it quicker. He's got to play it quicker. Ronaldo makes 3 brilliant runs. He darts to the near, pulls out to the edge of the penalty spot, and then goes to the far post. Not once did Quaresma get his head up and try and find anybody.
It's Quaresma's corner. It's picked up in the air by Font, and Font got the final touch, according to the ref, from the corner. This time on the right.
He's got to play it quicker. He's got to play it quicker. Ronaldo makes 3 brilliant runs. He darts to the near, pulls out to the edge of the penalty spot, and then goes to the far post. Not once did Quaresma get his head up and try and find anybody.
It's Quaresma's corner. It's picked up in the air by Font, and Font got the final touch, according to the referee, and he's also had a clash of heads there as well with Osmoon as well inside the penalty area, who is down and needs some treatment. So both of those will receive some. It will be a goal kick to Iran when we get going again. In fact, Font, I think, is all ready to be up and about. And in the meantime, the fourth official on the near side in conversation with Carlos Queiroz. And as we reach the half-hour mark, I suspect he's going to be the happier man of the two coaches.
Yeah, he'll be really pleased. He'll have said to his team that we can handle crosses from the full-backs and the wide players. We can deal with that, and they've done well so far. There hasn't been a clean header as yet from any Portuguese player. That's the first time they've just switched off, and that is what Portugal are waiting for, that one man to switch off. Haj Safi just allowed Quaresma to get on the outside of him, and like I said, he's just got to get his head up really early to see where the movement is from the strikers, because as a striker you want to make one movement for the defender and then that second movement for yourself, and that's when you want the ball to just be fired in. Cristiano Ronaldo made that first run, cut back to the penalty spot, ready for that to be fired across. Quaresma's too busy still looking at the ball rather than looking into the box.
It's hard to believe for Quaresma it's his first World Cup finals, and I'm guessing he's bringing into the side tonight in place of Bernardo Silva is for that natural right-footed winger, as opposed to Silva, who's obviously constantly trying to cut in from out wide.
Yeah, and about 3 or 4 times Quaresma, he's just got it one touch and whipped it in with that right foot of his, and I think that's clearly something Fernando Santos has looked at, how to play against this Iran side who's very organised. Well, you've got to get around the sides of them, you've got to get crosses in, and they've done that very well, and Quaresma especially, delivery's been very good, other than that last chance where he actually never did deliver.
14 minutes remaining in the first half on TalkSport. Iran 0, Portugal 0. In the other game in this group, it is Spain 1, Morocco 1. If you've just joined us, Morocco did go in front, but Isco has brought Spain level. Up to halfway, Iran trying to break forward here, but ball shepherded into touch on this near side by Rafael Guerreiro, and it's comfortably played at the back by Font to Rui Patricio, away to our right hand side. He came second in the Player of the Year vote for Portugal. I won't give any points out for guessing who won the Player of the Year vote, but Patricio then is clearly the second best behind Ronaldo in this Portuguese side.
No, and hell of a signing for Wolverhampton Wanderers, isn't it, to get his signature.
It's a lovely little touch here, and forward comes Jahan Bash down the right hand side for Iran. Goes down under the challenge from Guerreiro, and the whistle is blown right at the edge of the penalty area, and it's going to be a yellow card as well for Guerreiro for that challenge on Jahan Bash, who just had enough pace to cause him problems, and now a really good set piece here right on the corner of the box on the right hand side for Iran.
I'm not too sure. At first look I thought he jumped in to the challenge, Jahan Bash. He's just got that edge of pace over Guerreiro, and he just gets ahead of him. And there's not a lot of contact, we're just seeing that on our monitors, there's not a lot of contact, but for Iran this is the sort of position they would hope to take advantage of.
And looking at some of the faces around the stadium, the Iran supporters have got their hands behind their heads in real excitement here, because they know this is an opportunity. It's literally off the angle of the box on the right hand side, and you would fancy Haj-Safi on his left foot maybe to hit this, Jahan Bash potentially to deliver it in. There's 2 in the wall, 12 minutes to go to half time, 0-0. They've got 5 white shirts inside the penalty area as well. They're definitely outnumbered by defenders, that's for sure, because Portugal have come deep here to try and block this out. But it will be Haj-Safi who just takes one fake run, then it's delivered in and headed goalward straight to Rui Patricio, off the head that time of Saeed Azatollahi, straight at Patricio. He got up and won the header though.
Azatollahi was just waiting for that second phase. Haj-Safi pretended as if he was going to take it with the left foot, and that's when Azatollahi then made that run to the near post for that second ball. Powerful header right at Rui Patricio, never really in any danger, took it really well.
Should he have done better?
I think it was difficult, there wasn't a huge amount of pace on the delivery. He was having to really strain his neck muscles to get that power into the header. Again, it's about direction. If that goes towards the corners, that's going to be a very, very difficult save.
It's an effort on target though for Iran. We have just under 11 minutes remaining in this first half. In Saransk, the Moldova Arena. 4 fixtures it's staging during this World Cup. Terrific stadium as well, and full of noise and a vibrant atmosphere, because at the moment everything is still in the melting pot. Iran 0, Portugal 0. They failed to qualify with 4 points in 2014, did Portugal. 4 years earlier they had 5 and managed to get out the group. They never really do it that comfortably and in that much style. An opportunity to change that with a win here today, as right-footed that ball is chipped forward out wide to the right-hand side by Cedric, but it's into touch. Throw taken quickly after a little deflection, and it's back with Adrian Silva here. who's 35 yards from goal. Slips it down the channel where Quaresma's chasing after it. Does well to keep it in, but just sets it up for Ihan Hashtafi, who will then lift it clear up that far touchline to Amiri, but they've lost possession again. Portugal eager to win it back in the middle of the park, and they've done well this time. Cedric to Quaresma, who tries to deliver on that right foot, but it's easily blocked out for another throw on the right hand side.
But every single time that Quaresma gets it, he's looking to play that delivery in behind the Iran defence. You can see both Ronaldo and Andre Silva making good runs into the box, just need that delivery to get past that first man, but that's what the fullbacks have got to do. We've got to stop the crosses.
Everyone hemmed inside Iran's half as that swung into the penalty area, and this time there's a steady pair of hands from Ali Razar Beironvan, the Iranian keeper, who comes out around the penalty spot and collects comfortably and immediately tries to set Rezayan away down the right hand side.
A lovely little smile from the goalkeeper there, just to one of his defenders.
I think there was a huge sigh of relief from all the Iranian supporters.
I'm sure one of his about time.
You could probably hear the sigh all the way coming from Tehran, where they're showing the game on a big screen inside the stadium as well. It's in the middle of the park here, inside the centre circle, with Iran and a chance to come forward, and it's Vahed Amiri that's driving them on his left foot, slips it into the edge of the box. Oh, that was maybe one pass too many, looking to try and find Osmoon. The touch from Taremi inside the box just lacked the conviction to find Osmoon. They're still going though, edge of the penalty area. Osmoon again into Taremi in the box. Osmoon tries to get there, he's beaten to it by Guerrero, and a decent moment there for Iran. 2 or 3 times around the edge of that penalty area, almost managing to fashion shots off.
Twice though. Taremi wasn't on the same wavelength as his teammates. It was a really good run for Majmoon again, looking to play the 1-2, and he just wasn't alert to it.
Ronaldo's given that away down the right hand side as Portugal look to build again. They know they're in a game here, that's for sure. It's still 0-0 with 7.5 minutes to go. Amiri coming forward down the left hand side, tries to cut in between Pepe and Cedric, but Pepe gets a foot out and manages to pick up possession and then find Carvalho, and Portugal can build from the back again. Iran just seem to be growing in a little bit of confidence and committing a few more bodies forward, which I'm guessing Portugal won't mind.
No, they won't, and they'll be more than happy to try and break on Iran when they can, but you can see they're able to get up the pitch, Iran. Good link-up play, and then it's just that final pass, that final bit of play, that final looking to get your shot off. Just haven't got that quality.
You're listening to the World Cup on Talk Sport. 7 minutes remaining in the first half in Salansk. Iran 0, Portugal 0. It's one apiece in the other tie in this group. That's live on Talk Sport 2 between Spain and Morocco. Isco cancelling out Morocco's early opener. Here's Adrian Silva for Portugal as they look to probe and try and find a way forward down that right-hand side. It's back with Silva again. And the edge of the centre circle is Font, who takes it on now with his right foot, just slowly wandering into Iranian territory. Into a more central area where again Silva picks it up. His fluorescent green boots. He finds João Mario, who's swapped sides now, it appears, with Quaresma for the moment. He's now down that right-hand touchline. And Mario again is just forced back inside to Silva. And Iran just pushing out and defending as a unit. And Font down the left-hand side will now try to come forward. He's immediately engaged though and needs the support of Guerrero. And white shirts again push out, they stay in a tight line. Ronaldo's going to try one from distance, and boy was it some distance. It was about 40 yards, and it's comfortably held by Beironvan.
Well, I could see that he was getting more and more frustrated, Cristiano Ronaldo, and coming deeper and deeper, wanting to get involved in the play. And as soon as he got a yard of space, pretty much, he just got it out of his feet and thought, I'm going to have a shot. No surprise to see that he hits the target with good power, but easily saved in the end. And that's just showing Iran will be pleased. They'll be pleased that they can see Ronaldo's getting frustrated, having to come deep. The further he is away from their goal, the better from their point of view.
Carvalho just loses out inside the centre circle. Iran coming forward again down this near side. Jahan Bash tries to just lift the ball beyond Guerrero, takes a deflection and wins his side a throw about 7 or 8 yards outside the Portuguese penalty area. And the referee just stepping in. There's a bit of a coming together there between Adrian Silva and Omedi Ibrahimni. And the referee adamant There won't be any more of that going on. Similar stature, those two, almost identical height-wise and build-wise. It'll be an intriguing battle as, again, Ibrahimni tries to make a run inside the box. Then it goes short here. Jahanbash into Ibrahimni again. No offside flag. Gets the crossover inside the penalty area. It's headed away as far as João Mario, and then to Carvalho, and then Ronaldo's out wide on the left-hand side. And ahead of him now, making the run, is Andre Silva. Ronaldo, ball at feet here, heading into Iranian territory. It's just a decent tackle in the middle of the park there. Wins that ball back. It was a tidy one as well by Ibrahimni again. Wide on the right is Mario for Portugal, advancing forward, level with the edge of the box. Cedric inside the penalty area. Quaresma's there with the outside of his right foot. Just sat up for him, and he tried to flick it goalwards, but he's flicked it over the top of the crossbar and away for a goal kick to Iran.
Clever ball from Cedric. Rather than looking to cross it, he just fires this into the feet of Quaresma. Takes a great first touch, and you can see the right idea. He's on that right hand side, and he's looking to just use the outside of his right foot to curl it into that far corner. Just got his angles wrong and put too much power over it. But Iran, they spring back into that defensive position so quickly. They have to move it a lot quicker when they're counter-attacking Portugal if they're to get through this Iran defence.
Carlos Queiroz, the 65-year-old Portuguese man, of course, we mentioned earlier, twice he's managed Portugal. The 2010 World Cup, he was the man in charge. But he's been looking after Iran since 2011. I mean, he has resigned several times, and he's invariably at loggerheads with authorities time and time again. He's the 20th coach to face a home nation and come up against them at a World Cup. And at the moment he's in his technical area barking instructions as his Iranian side go forward again here. Inside the penalty area, Jahanbash is there, and he just runs it out of play as he tried to get the cross away. Falls to the floor, and it's in the arms of Rui Patricio away to our right hand side.
Well, he's trying his best to impress, isn't he, Jahanbash? Making some good runs, good rangy stride on him, lots of pace, and he's going to have to work up and down if he's going to give Iran any chance. He's now getting himself back into that defensive position.
He's the first Asian footballer to finish a campaign a top scorer in a European league, of course. He finished top in the Eredivisie, where he plies his trade for AZ Alkmaar. 21 goals in total last season, but tends to play more centrally for them. Plays in a wider role when he comes into the team here for Iran. There's a bit of frustration from Ronaldo again as he just tried to control the ball, but actually it's really good defending this time by Ibrahimni, who's come all the way back just to shepherd that ball into touch. And they won't mind that frustration on Cristiano Ronaldo's face.
No, and again it just shows the discipline of the whole team. That's Ibrahimni, who's arguably one of the players that needs to get up with Azmoun, making it all the way back to help out his defence. That's that collectiveness, the spirit within the side, willing to work for each other.
90 seconds plus stoppage time remaining in the first half here on TalkSport. It's Iran 0, Portugal 0 in Group B. It's Spain 1, Morocco 1 in the other game in this group that will decide who qualifies. Any one of three, remember, Spain, Portugal or Iran. For Iran it's win or bust really if they want to qualify. They need to secure victory, unless of course Morocco were to beat Spain. That may well have an impact on it as well. There are many permutations, just 7 in total for this group. I'll run you through them, and as they become clearer throughout the game, fill you in. But as things stand, it would be Spain who top the group, and it will be Portugal that comes second.
Just don't ask me to do it.
I've been very impressed by your maths so far. Down the right hand side, a lovely bit of play from Quaresma and Silva. Outside of the right foot from Quaresma. Oh, what a goal that is from Ricardo Quaresma. The outside of that right foot, magically lifting the ball into the far corner and beyond Beyon Vand. It's a wonderful finish, delightful build-up play, and he gets his start today, Quaresma, and he repays the faith in Fernando Santos. It's a wonderful goal, and it's Iran 0, Portugal 1.
And this is the difference between the better nations. You have players such as Quaresma that can produce a wonderful moment. He got that attempt a minute ago slightly wrong with the outside of his foot. Not this time. Plays a lovely 1-2 with Cedric, and then he just opens his body up and just curls it with the outside of his foot up and over the goalkeeper, right into the top corner. A magnificent goal from Quaresma. It doesn't matter how many players you put in front of Quaresma here, Nobody's stopping it. Magnificent technique with the outside of the right foot.
They call him the Mustang for his use of the outside of his boot, and that is why. Absolutely sensational from Quaresma. That's why he's starting today. His 10th international goal, his first in the World Cup finals, and on the stroke of half-time, it gives Portugal the lead. And where do Iran go from here? Well, the first thing they'll do is end up, of course, with a very much different team talk, you feel, from Carlos Queiroz, because now they have to score twice, something they've only done once, and that was, of course, 20 years ago.
Well, it wasn't power, it was just glorious finesse, wasn't it, with that outside of his right foot. Knew exactly what he was trying to do, flighting it over the goalkeeper with a hint of curl on it into that far top corner. And sometimes you've just got to hold your hands up if you're Iran and just say that's just a magnificent bit of skill. There's no defender can stop that.
Well, the flick from Silva to help set it up. Adrian Silva from the midfield, lovely little ball into the path of Quaresma, and just the most magnificent finish. And here they come again, Portugal now are into 3 minutes of added time. We've had about 90 seconds of it here on TalkSport. Iran 0, Portugal 1. It's back to halfway, and it's with Pepe deep inside his own half, and I think even they've decided actually we'll take one at half-time here. Just slowing play up to Rafael Guerreiro on the left-hand side. Very much will have changed the team talk from Carlos Queiroz, who would have been very satisfied to get in at half-time with the score at 0-0. But it has taken a piece of magic, usually from Ronaldo, but today the magic delivered by somebody else in the form of Ricardo Quaresma. First World Cup finals at the age of 34, and he's made his mark in Russia 2018 with that goal. Absolute beauty. Now here's that man Ronaldo, who doesn't want to stay out the headlines for long, giving it back to Carvalho, and Mario combine, and now it's picked up by the goal scorer Quaresma, who's in the central area of midfield. To the right he goes with Silva. The far touchline, Cedric's there, about 35 yards from goal. We've almost had the 3 minutes of added time at the end of the first half in Saransk, a game that's been lit up by the 10th international goal of Ricardo Quaresma. Trying to give the ball forward there was Jahan Bash on this near side, but Iran have just conceded possession on this near touchline, and I think our referee Enrique Casares is thinking about blowing his half-time whistle, and he does. And that piece of magic then from Ricardo Quaresma on the stroke of half-time is what separates the two sides. A wonderful finish with the outside of his right boot from around about 16 yards on the right-hand angle. It's a terrific finish. There wasn't much that Bayron Van could do about that in the Iranian goal, and after a plucky first half, the stuffing's been knocked out of them on the stroke of half-time. It's Iran 0, Portugal 1. Thank you very much, Matt. Well, if you're going out, you've got to go out fighting, really, haven't you? There's no real option here for Carlos Queiroz and his Iranian side. Just a quick word on Ricardo Quaresma. I mentioned earlier it's his first World Cup finals, but he does have a habit of delivering in these big tournaments. Euro 2008, Euro 2016, the Confed Cup last year as well, and now, of course, the World Cup. He scored in all of them. Haven't seen all those goals, but chances are most of them were the outside of his right foot as usual. It was a truly magical finish which lit up the end of a first half that at times was a fairly tense affair between these two. But it's all to be done now for Iran at the start of this second half. We're off and underway. Portugal are kicking from left to right in this second 45 minutes in that traditional shirts, shorts and socks. It's all white for Iran. It's a kind of a clarity colour, but a clarity red. Never best with colours. Away to our right hand side, the ball at the feet of Bayron Van, who finally got beat in the first half after an opening 20 minutes where he really lived a charmed life, error after error, but none of them penalised by Portugal, and in the end nothing he could do about the goal. But here come Iran. Right start to the second half. Early response here as Osmoon goes towards the edge of the penalty area, but ball just runs away from him, and there's enough Portuguese shirts back to deal with that. And then on the left hand side it'll be Guerreiro that gets it clear and up the line to João Mario. I'll run you through the two teams the moment the ball goes out of play, but here's Carvalho for Portugal, lifting the ball out wide to this right hand side where it's picked up by Cedric, a man who apparently likes to spend his time in front of the mirror with a hairspray. Not something that Dean and I particularly in need of at any point. Here is Cedric down the right-hand side again in the penalty area. Quaresma with the back heel towards Ronaldo, trying all the tricks now as they lead by a goal to nil. It's Carvalho pushing it out wide to the left-hand side again, and Mario, who then gives it back to Font. And Carvalho again, then lays the ball through towards a run that had been made by Ronaldo, but the stabbed ball was cut out at the edge of the penalty area. And Iran with a chance to break now down the left-hand side, but it's a looping ball forwards. There was plenty of time for Portugal to get bodies back, but they've conceded possession once more on this near side. Osmoon has it, back towards halfway. Nice bit of interplay by Ashafi, the left full-back. He gives it again into Osmoon, who's just hassled off the ball that time by Carvalho. And Quaresma has it on this near side, and then Adrian Silva, and it's back with Rui Patricio away to our left.
Oh, they are frustrating to watch, Iran, because they do so many good things in their build-up, nice interplay, and then again, just when it comes to that, looking for that final pass, looking for that final link-up, they just slow things down, take too many touches, and the quality just isn't there.
These things stand, it's full steam ahead for Portugal and Spain in terms of qualification. Portugal top of the group, Spain second. So Portugal will face Russia in Moscow, whereas it will be Uruguay in Sochi for Spain. That's if things stay as they are, but we've still got about 42 minutes or so to see if they will at the start of this second half. Portugal have started well out wide to the right hand side. Ronaldo finds the goal scorer Quaresma, who's now looking to cut in field, but he's blocked out on this occasion by some decent defending that time by Ashafi, who then tries to go beyond Carvalho inside the centre circle, but Carvalho's there to win the ball back and find Quaresma again. Play just breaking down for Iran as they look to find a way back into this game.
Typical though, isn't it? Quaresma, every single time in that first half that he got the ball wide, he looked to just shift it and whip that cross in. First time the ball's come to him in this second half, fancy little Okocha style bit of skill. Again, that goal's probably gone to his head, and actually he needs to get back to what he was doing well in that first half, which was delivering good crosses for Ronaldo and Andre Silva to attack.
I remember when Quaresma went to Barcelona, he spent a year there under Frank Rijkaard, and after a year said, I've had enough of this. Second spell right now for Besiktas, no doubt about his talent at the age of 34. His 79th cap today, and his debut some 14 years ago. Carvalho inside the centre circle, out wide to that man again, Quaresma, whose goal separates these two sides here on TalkSport. Portugal leading Iran by a goal to nil. It's back once more with Carvalho in towards João Mario to the edge of the box. Ronaldo, lovely touch inside from Cristiano Ronaldo, who goes down in the box. Well, that looked like a penalty to me. It's waved away by the referee. It was a real physical challenge inside the area, and I suspect VAR may be having a look at this. The referee again just separates his hands, and Ronaldo can't quite believe it.
Well, no, I can't. I just thought he'd got ahead. It could have been cut across, and it's definitely a penalty. We're seeing it on our monitors. For me, he's just outdone the midfield player. He gets clattered into, and it's definitely. The only question is, would it be inside or outside? Because it's right on the line.
Saeed Ezatourari was the player who made the challenge. Well, VAR not looking. The referee is happy. Oh no, hang on, now he is. He's coming over to the tunnel. He will have a look at the monitor for himself, as advised by Massimiliano Irati, the Italian official who is in the VAR room. Well, I can't see any reason why this won't be given as a penalty.
No, and again, this is why VAR should come into our game, because we don't know what sight the referee's had, whether there's players in his way, what vision he might have had of the incident, and now he's able to have a good look back at it. And Cristiano Ronaldo he's just got too much skill, too much pace for Ezatali.
Well, Enrique Caceres, the referee, reappears from the tunnel, blows his whistle, and he points to the spot, and it is a penalty for Portugal. 5 minutes into the second half, he's surrounded by the Iranian players. There's a yellow card there immediately for Ehan Hashafi, and he's keeping the yellow card out because I don't think they're going to go away quickly here. There was no doubt in the minds of myself and Dean Ashton when we saw it that was a penalty for the foul on Cristiano Ronaldo. And for the second time in this World Cup, from 12 yards, Cristiano Ronaldo with a chance to add to his goal tally.
And no matter how long this has taken, the right decision has been made. Cristiano Ronaldo got himself away as Atulai cut across, took him down, and it was a penalty in my opinion. And the right decision's been made, so of course the Iran players are going to be annoyed.
Before the game against Spain, he'd scored 3 goals in 13 World Cup games. Here's a chance to score number 5 in Russia 2018 for Cristiano Ronaldo. The ball is on the spot, he's kissed the ball as ever. He's made sure his hair looks perfect as well, just in case he needs to do the celebration. It's his 14th penalty for his country. The referee, Caceres, is happy that everyone's out, and from 12 yards it'll be Cristiano Ronaldo against Algelar Beiranvand. Fernando Santos is crouching. Ronaldo runs up, strikes the penalty, and it's saved. A terrific stop to his left-hand side by Beiranvand, who may have just kept Iran's hopes of staying in this World Cup alive. He's denied Cristiano Ronaldo from the spot. See, it isn't just Messi that misses. Ronaldo is denied. It stays 1-0 to Portugal.
Well, it's about kidology, isn't it? And Beiranvand, he stood right inside his goal, not on the line, inside his goal.
Well, here's Quaresma lifting it into the box, and this time Beiranvand, who should be buoyed with confidence, collects it comfortably. In fact, the whole Iranian side look buoyed by confidence here. And now there's a problem, and there's a yellow card coming out, and it's gone to Osmoon, and the referee is not taking any of this from these Iranian players. There's really ill discipline on show right now. It's another yellow card, and it looks like an off-the-ball incident that's caused it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to maybe see what's happened up the pitch as Quaresma was crossing that ball in. But it's ugly scenes to see the way that the players are going up to the referee, getting in his face, almost grabbing him at times. I really, really don't like to see that. Yes, remonstrate with the referee, but do it in a proper manner. Give the man a bit of space to make decisions. But going back to that penalty save, kidology. He was inside the goal, bouncing around inside the goal, and then he's made the decision. Does he go with the same side that Ronaldo took in the first game against Spain, or does he go the other way? He gambled that he would go the same way, and he picked correct.
Well, he's already the highest scoring European international with 85 goals. I think he probably thought, thanks very much, I'll have 86, but not on this occasion. Carlos Queiroz has thrown his jacket down and has wandered up the tunnel. Now I wonder if he's been dismissed here for his protestations on the near touchline. He's departed, and we're still trying to make sense of the injury here to Adrian Silva, who is down. We've had 9 minutes of this second half, and it's been action-packed here on TalkSport. It's Iran 0, Portugal 1. A reminder, it's one apiece between Spain and Morocco. So right now, Portugal lead the group. Spain are in second. And in fact, Carlos Queiroz has reappeared, and he's going to make his first change in this game. Adrian Silva is fit enough to continue. Well, what drama at the start of this second half. We said they needed to come out fighting. We didn't mean literally.
No, exactly. Yeah, they're pumped up, aren't they, for this second half, and they've got the goalkeeper to thank for that massive save. Cristiano Ronaldo is going to be disgusted, although is that a penalty?
Well, Osmoon's gone down inside the penalty area. It's immediately waved away by the referee, as was Cristiano Ronaldo's. I think on that occasion, probably not.
But that's the issue that the referee then has, is if the opposition or any other player now tries to go down and then just looks at the referee to say, well, you need to check it. That's where I don't like to sort of see from the players who are obviously trying to win penalties, just so the referee has to look at it.
Here's the change, and we're going to see the introduction of Milad Mohammadi, and he's coming on to replace Ehan Hashsafi, and that's probably no great surprise. The captain of this Iranian side will depart. He's just been booked, and I think he's walking a very thin line with referee Enrique Caceres. So Mohammadi comes on, first change of the game for Iran. They've got a free kick here, about 10 yards inside the Portugal half, and an opportunity to mount their first real attack of this second period.
Well, delivery's got to be right, and then can they win them second balls and knockdowns?
Reza Yan delivers it in. Osmoon's coming round the back to try and win possession, but it spins into touch, and it'll be a throw-in level with the edge of the 6-yard box for Portugal on this near side.
Well, I mean, it's no use whatsoever if the delivery then just gets pumped over the top, all the way over everybody and out of play. That doesn't help anybody. At least give your players a chance to attack it.
Sada Osmoon, the forward line for Iran, he's been booked as well with his fury a little earlier. Terrific record in qualifying, 11 goals in 14 games, but not looked like scoring so far here today as Carvalho brings that clear from the edge of the penalty area. Well picked up in the middle that time by Amiri. Now out wide on the right hand side, here's Jahan Basha, ball across the box. Oh, and it's cut out as it was arriving at Osmoon in the 6-yard box by Pepe, who puts it behind what will be a corner on the right hand side to Iran.
And that was last ditched. Pepe tried to play offside and then he got himself back into a great position. He was managed just to stretch and get his toenails on the ball to flick it wide, otherwise Osmoon was there to tap it in.
Another sinew running towards the near post there. Should he have cut across?
I think he could have tried, of course, but he felt like the space was going to be in behind, made that gamble, which you do have to make a call very quickly, and fair play to Pepe, got himself back into a great position.
Here's the corner for Iran, swung over, headed down goalwards by Osmoon, but actually it's squirted off sideways more than anything and into touch. Away to our left, Rock will be a throw to Portugal, level with a penalty spot. Well, we said they had to come out fighting, they have come out fighting, and after that penalty save as well, they've responded brilliantly.
They have, and I think the way that the game's been unsettled, it's actually suited Iran. And I think obviously that penalty save has galvanised them as well, given them that extra lift.
This is the World Cup on TalkSport. Iran 0, Portugal 1. Iran are fighting for their lives, and well, I didn't like that a moment ago. Quaresma just went down as though he'd been absolutely nobbled there on this near touchline, and then immediately, once he saw he wasn't getting the free kick, got himself straight back up again. Andre Silva has been caught there in a challenge from Eza Tourahi, and that's going to be a free kick for Portugal inside their own half.
Difficult for the referee now. Lots of players, like you say, going down with very minimal contact. Referee's just got to somehow try and control this game, calm this game down.
Iran have never won their final group stage match in any World Cup. As I said earlier, they've only scored more than one goal on one occasion. That was the USA in 1998. They've got to do both of those things again here today. And then for the first time, they'd get themselves into the knockout stages. It's all against them right now as they trail Portugal by 1-0 on TalkSport. A reminder, it's Spain 1, Morocco 1 in the other game. That's live over on TalkSport 2 as we bring you every single game from this 2018 World Cup in Russia. Down the right-hand side, forward they come again. Portugal on the attack, and it's well cleared this time by the substitute Mohammadi. And it will be a throw on this right-hand side to be taken by Cedric, midway inside the Iranian half. Fernando Santos. Both these two in their mid-60s, of course, the coaches. He's giving his instructions on this near touchline. Just one competitive loss outright for him. He did, of course, lose a penalty shootout in the Confederations Cup to Chile last year. Certainly earned his spurs in terms of Porto, Sporting Lisbon and Benfica. He's got the set there in Portugal. Finished the Greek set as well, really, with Panathinaikos, AEK Athens, etc. Before picking up the reins since September 2014. Here's Cedric on the near side for Portugal. Just being forced back towards halfway. Pepe's up there supporting though, and Adrian Silva with the outside of his right foot will spread play to the left-hand side. Here's Guerrero on the angle, 25 yards from goal. Plays in Mario by the corner flag. João Mario then turns, gives it back to Guerrero, chance to deliver. Skips past the first challenge though. Thinks about going past the second. Instead gives it to João Mario once more. Carvalho out wide to the far side. João Mario's attempted cross is deflected, and it's easily cleared by Eza Tourahi from inside the penalty area. And in the end, Pepe picks it up on halfway, and Portugal just trying to gain a little bit more control in this game after a really crazy start to the second half.
Yeah, just trying to slow things down, although that's a great bit of skill from Guerrero.
It is to the edge of the box, drives the shot, and it's well blocked that time by Hosseini inside the area. And it breaks nicely for Iran here with a chance to clear, but Eza Tourahi just loses possession midway inside his own half, and it's with the goal scorer Quaresma down the right-hand side. Quaresma now towards the edge of the penalty area, just tries to go beyond Mohammadi, the substitute. Oh, and then Quaresma has gone down holding his face, claiming an arm out from Mohammadi, the substitute. The referee's waved it away and has actually given the free kick to Iran just at the edge of their own penalty area.
But why would Quaresma, when he took that hand in the face, arm in the face, we'd have to see a replay, and then he kind of gets himself up, looks at the referee, and then he goes back down again, and of course he's absolutely fine.
Well, he's also looking at his lip going, is there blood? Is there blood? I think you'd probably see it if there was blood.
I mean, I think he probably does just get caught slightly, but it's, I mean, let's just see it on the monitor, there's absolutely nothing in it. He goes down like a fallen oak tree.
Well, it's yards away from the assistant, who puts his flag up and gives it the other way anyway, for the initial contact from Quaresma. And he didn't need any treatment, there is no blood, and we're all good to carry on again. 62 minutes on the clock on TalkSport. Iran 0, Portugal 1.
And that's another thing, I think the referees have been excellent in this tournament. They haven't risen to that, they've just carried on with the play, haven't pandered to the players when they've been caught slightly.
Long throw down the line from Cedric is put into touch, just shepherded there by Hosseini at the heart of that defence for Iran that's been breached by a wonderful goal by Ricardo Quaresma. We've seen some terrific goals in this World Cup. Jesse Lingard yesterday sits in there, that free kick from Ronaldo, the wonderful finish we've seen from Quaresma. And actually the Spanish goal tonight's pretty tasty from a purist football kind of way. And that game, of course, is over on TalkSport 2, and it's 1 apiece between Spain and Morocco right now. As things stand, Portugal going through as group winners, Spain going through second, and there's a foul there from Quaresma, who's going to get a yellow card, and that's no great surprise. Wasn't a nice challenge, that, on this near touchline on the substitute, Mohammadi.
And we're seeing the other side to Ricardo Quaresma. Wonderful goal in the first half. Plenty of delicious deliveries as well, and in this second half, yes, there's going to be some strong challenges in on him. Iran are trying to keep themselves in the World Cup, but because he didn't get the free kick that he wanted from a challenge, he gets himself back up and then he puts a nasty challenge in. Just pure petulance and pathetic from Quaresma.
It's actually on Eza Tourahi, who was the player that caught him first, and I think the issue here is that the knee of Quaresma may well have affected shall we call them the crown jewels? That could have been the problem.
Yes,
if we're going to be polite about it. 64 minutes on the clock. Portugal lead by a goal to nil. The vuvuzelas are sounding again as the Iranian support within the Mordovia arena tries to just drive them on again. They had a really good spell after that Cristiano Ronaldo penalty was saved. He almost cut a ball out then that was played by poor Ali Ganji out to that right-hand side. Another foul on that far side. The flag is up. Adrian Silva is the player. In fact, Guerrero is the player that's fouled, and that's going to be a free kick for Portugal, about 15 yards outside their own half. It's not just Messi that misses penalties at World Cup finals. Ronaldo has 2.
Well, out of them, I know you said 13 penalties that he'd taken, he'd actually missed 5. So now that's 6 out of 14. That's actually not a fantastic record for Ronaldo.
And here he is coming in from that far side. Lovely ball into the feet of João Mario. He continued his run down the left-hand edge of the penalty area, had Ronaldo, but João Mario instead went back towards Carvalho, and now to Adrian Silva, who's anchoring operations alongside Carvalho in the middle of the park for Portugal. Here's João Mario into Ronaldo, ball at feet. Ronaldo dancing towards the edge of the penalty area, gets to the edge of the D, hits the shot, and it's well wide of the left-hand upright.
He was just so anxious to get that shot away. He's just got one thing on his mind. As soon as the ball gets played to him, just to jink inside, a couple of nice little touches, and then with challenges flying in, he's trying to fire that in, curl that into the far post, and I think the challenge from Hosseini was just enough to put him off.
Well, they have 25 minutes here, Iran, to score 2 goals and to keep themselves in the FIFA World Cup in Russia for 2018. There's another injury here. I think it's Cedric that's down. And it's going to be a throw-in on this near side. We are going to see the introduction shortly of Bernardo Silva for Portugal. Just getting last instructions from Fernando Santos.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Quaresma taken off with his attitude in this second half. Certainly the incident with the penalties changed the mood of this game, hasn't it? Iran not happy. It's got very, very scrappy, bitty, lots of heavy challenges going in.
Cleared away from the edge of the penalty area by Guerrero, but just kind of stabbed into the air and finds Quaresma. João Mario here as it opens up a little for Portugal, out wide to the left-hand side with Ronaldo, who's got the ball at feet and in that familiar pose as he charges forward towards the edge of the box. Carvalho out wide and taken down by Quaresma on the full, level with the edge of the 6-yard box on this near touchline. Gives it to Cedric. Back into a central area with Silva. Carvalho's 30 yards from goal. Just gives the ball once more to Font, who's come to join in the attack. And Font then will go to Carvalho again, who has his back to goal and then lays it to João Mario at the edge of the penalty area. I think Andre Silva was just almost in a position to win possession at the edge of the box, but Iran have got it clear and it's all the way back to Rui Patricio away to our left. Just gives the ball once more to Font, who's come to join in the attack. And Font then will go to Carvalho again, who has his back to goal and then lays it to João Mario at the edge of the penalty area. I think Andre Silva was just almost in a position to win possession at the edge of the box, but Iran have got it clear and it's all the way back to Rui Patricio away to our left-hand side.
Well, that's where Iran can cope. If Portugal try and play intricate football in between them, even Spain struggled to do that against Iran. Get much more joy out wide, Portugal.
Midway point of the second half on TalkSport. Iran 0, Portugal 1. But Portugal and Cristiano Ronaldo have missed a penalty. It's one apiece between Spain and Morocco in the other Group B game that's being played this evening. Now that's a long-ranging ball down the right-hand side. The chase is on here for Jahan Bash, who's done really well to win the ball. Gets there ahead of Pepe on that far side. Holds the ball up and wants some support, which eventually arrives. It's chipped in goalwards towards the edge of the penalty area and around the penalty spot. In the end, it has to be headed away by Cedric. There's two white shirts in there, put the ball in from out wide. That was lifted in by Reza Yan. Couldn't quite find them.
I don't know why Pepe was charging out wide to close down Jahan Bash. He looked like he had me on his back. Really lost that yard of pace that he had at the start of his Real Madrid career, Pepe.
25 years of age now, Pepe. I was astonished when I was reading earlier on to see he'd been dismissed 24 times. I mean, that's quite extraordinary in your career.
It's a little battle, isn't it, between him and Ramos. I wonder whether they've got a little wager on it.
Quaresma is the player to depart. Dean Ashton's called it absolutely spot on here. Bernardo Silva will enter the fray. Left out the starting lineup today in place of Quaresma, but Silva is on, with Portugal having the advantage that they require, and there's a second change coming as well for Iran, and we are going to see Jahan Bash depart, and he is going to be replaced by number 14, of course, Salman Ghodus. And this is a sign that they probably are going to try and push a couple of men forward now alongside Osmoon. Maybe there has to be a change in tactics at some point here from Queiroz, with just over 20 minutes remaining and their existence in this World Cup hanging by a thread.
Well, it doesn't look like it though, but maybe just a little bit more freedom for players to get forward.
Reza Yan gets it forward into space. Osmoon here at the edge of the penalty area. Oh, he just can't quite get round the challenge that was coming there from Font. And it's picked up just inside their own half for Portugal by Andre Silva, who strides over halfway. Ahead of him is João Mario, who holds the ball up. Finds Silva again. They're within a couple of yards of each other on that far touchline. Decent bit of tight control from Silva, who then finds William Carvalho, who's fouled in the middle of the park, and that's going to be a free kick for Portugal. We're into the last 20 minutes on TalkSport. Iran 0, Portugal 1. A reminder, all 4 games from the World Cup tomorrow are live across the TalkSport network. We'll find out about the fate of Argentina tomorrow. Of course, as well, we have Denmark and France in action too, Croatia. All 4 games live on the TalkSport network as part of the 64 we're bringing you from the World Cup this year. Adrian Silva lets fly from distance, but it's well over the top of the crossbar of Beiron van der Way to our right-hand side.
Well, the game's definitely opening up naturally because Iran have to push men forward, and they're starting to look tired as well. Put a lot of effort into this game so far. But a bit like in 2014 where they lost 3-1 to Bosnia in their final game, it just looks like they're running out of steam again, Iran, against the pace and fitness of these European sides.
It's only their 5th World Cup finals all in all, of course, but their 3rd in the last 4 editions. They've become fairly regular qualifiers and they absolutely breeze through Asian qualifying this time round. That's a long ball in towards the edge of the penalty area. Osmoon knocks it down at the edge of the box. Chance to shoot here on the right foot, and it's a decent effort that's driven in that time from the edge of the penalty area by the substitute Salman Godus, and his shot goes just wide in the right hand post.
Really aggressive centre forward play from Osmoon to win that ball, and then Godus, as it comes back to him, he just tries to give Rui Patricio the eyes as if he's going to go to the far post and then look to drill it in the near post. In the end, it was 4 or 5 yards wide. And again, just that lack of quality with the final finish, just lacking for Iran.
In our capacity as neutrals, a goal right now would set up the last quarter of an hour very nicely, wouldn't it?
Oh, it would, certainly. And I mean, look, Iran really have given it a go. You can't say that they've just sat back. They've thrown men forward in this second half, but they just haven't had the quality to hurt Portugal.
We've got some defending to do here as Portugal are on the attack again, with Adrian Silva lifting a ball out wide to the right hand side. Lovely takedown by Bernardo Silva, who's being trapped and chased all the way that time on this near side by Mohammadi, who then does win possession and now tries to strike forward here for Irani. Puffs his chest out and sprints a little bit like Michael Johnson on this near side as he charges down this near touchline. He has won his side the throw midway inside the Portugal half, and it's going to be taken on this left hand side. It's probably going to be launched forward by Amiri towards the edge of the box, but it's a comfortable header away for Pepe.
Well, he tried to just push it old school and run, no skill involved, just pushed it and run into the space. But Carvalho is one of those players. He reminds me of our TalkSport's own Danny Gabardon. Looks very languid and relaxed in his running, but actually when he suddenly needs it, there's just ridiculous amounts of pace there.
Ronaldo trying to skip into the penalty area, but a decent bit of defending by Ibrahimni again, who manages to nod the ball back into the path of Bayron Van in the Iranian goal away to our right hand side. End-to-end stuff now. You're right, the game's opening up considerably. Chipped ball forward, and it's broken through to Osmoon inside the penalty area. Right hand edge, tries to put it back. There's only one other player in there. Oh, and there's Carvalho with his hands just intervening inside that penalty area. Referee waved it away, but Iran not complaining too much.
No, and that's the sign normally if no players particularly remonstrate with the referee. Carlos Queiroz certainly is asking for it to be reviewed.
I think Eza Tolahi has just said to the referee, surely we're reviewing that. And Carlos Queiroz is making signs that he believes there should be a review here.
Well, they've both got arms all over each other. Amiri, I think it was, or Taremi, asking for it to be reviewed.
Well, the referee is wandering over to this near touchline. Now, is he coming to review the VAR? There's a substitution that's about to take place. And he's saying the substitution needs to happen. He's telling Carlos Queiroz to go. I think he's sending him off here, is he? Carlos Queiroz just, in that innocent way, puts his hands to his chest and says, "Who, me?" And at this point, Enrique Caceres just explains to him that he's not tolerating it. It's not going to be reviewed, and he needs to leave it alone right now. The change has been made, and off has gone Saeed Eza Tolahi. And onto the fray comes the man who was left out today. It's Harim Ansarifad, who enters the fray for Iran for the final 15 minutes. Quarter of an hour left here on TalkSport 2 from the Mordovia Arena in Saransk, where Portugal at the moment are booking their passage into the knockout stages of this World Cup as group winners, with Spain, who are currently drawing 1-1 with Morocco, right behind them as things stand. And we're getting a view on our monitors, another look.
No, and it's not. For me, it's not a penalty. Taremi has got his arms wrapped around Carvalho just the same. He's looking for that penalty rather than there being any real contact.
Iran now all of a sudden with 4 players in a forward line down the right-hand side, and Pepe has to intervene and clear the ball into touch for a throw.
But this is what happens when you become desperate. You'll do anything. Just want to win a penalty. Just something to get you back in the game.
Throwing on that far side, and it's going to be taken by Amiri, who's not happy with the condition of that first ball, so he changes it. And now Vahid Amiri will launch it into the penalty area. It's headed clear to the edge of the box, picked up by Bernardo Silva. Chance to break forward here for Portugal. Oh, Ronaldo's away, potentially down the right hand side. He's already had a cheeky look across to see who was with him. It was João Mario, but the pass from Ronaldo, who really is not having the best of nights, wasn't the best.
No, it wasn't. He was looking for João Mario, but it was poor.
Driven effort from Andre Silva there at the edge of the box. I think Ronaldo was fouled, but the referee played the advantage.
Not as poor as that shot from Andre Silva. I know he hasn't really had a look at goal, but that was really poor. That was at least 30 yards over the crossbar. But yeah, Ronaldo's got that sulky kind of look on his face, hasn't he? It hasn't gone his way. He's missed the penalty.
Not made much of a contribution, but then having dragged them through the first two games, I think we can probably let him off today.
I think it'll annoy him more that he hasn't drawn level, at least with Harry Kane. That'll grate on him, I'm sure, but he's still got a bit of time left.
I'm wondering if those vuvuzelas outside his hotel room window last night maybe have had that negative effect on Cristiano Ronaldo.
Maybe that's what he's chuntering away to himself.
13 minutes remaining here. It's Iran 0, Portugal 1 on TalkSport. It's a ball lifted out to the left-hand side towards João Mario, but he lets it run to Guerreiro, who then just taps it on into the path of Mario, who comes forward. I'm not too sure what's going to happen with his football next season. Inter Milan, of course, he was loaned to West Ham for the second half of the campaign. He scored a couple of goals in his 14 appearances as well, but at 35 million, I'm not sure he justified that kind of outlay, and I'm not sure he's a player that's on the radar of Manuel Pellegrini, their new boss. So I'm sure it'll be back to Serie A for him, as he just flicks that ball on and into touch on the far side for a throw to Iran, midway inside their own half. Whereas
another player that they've been reported for a while, Carvalho, I've been really impressed with him. I think he showed just a minute ago that actually he's got that turn of pace that's required in that holding midfield position, and his distribution's been really, really good, really calm on the ball.
Omid Ibrahimni did well, as he just finds the ball out to Hosseini here, up towards halfway for Iran, intercepted by Silva, and now taken on by Mohammedi on this near side. And now it's with Carvalho inside the centre circle. Back once more to Font, who's deep inside his own half, and in the end he goes back to Rui Patricio away to our left-hand side. And Patricio's ball forward is picked up by Cedric on this near side, and there's a challenge gone in. The referee gives the free kick. Cedric just a little bit late in his tackle.
Yeah, definitely caught Amiri.
No card though from the referee this time round.
They can't seem to get any consistent run of attacks, Iran. Every single attack they've had has either just been one quick burst and then back into a defensive position. They're not able to sustain any pressure.
Well, committing men forward. This is going to be delivered by Omid Ibrahimni towards the edge of the penalty area, headed away that time by Carvalho, and then it's volleyed clear from the far side by Guerreiro, straight into touch. Ronaldo wants a free kick, but it's going to be a throw to Iran, 10 yards inside their own half. In fact, it was Andre Silva that was clattered. The keeper's well out of goal here, and Bayron Vand,
well, someone's just gone down. Cristiano Ronaldo just ran past, I think it was Hosseini, and he's gone down holding his face.
He's still rolling around away to our right hand side. The referee will stop play at this point. Cristiano Ronaldo was the player who went past. Them two have had a few battles. It was Ibrahimni who clattered Ronaldo from behind about 3 or 4 minutes ago.
Poor Alaganji is actually the other centre half who's gone down.
Well, there's just having a look at the replay. There's definitely an outstretched arm there from Cristiano Ronaldo, and it's very deliberate.
Yeah, it is. The first one's just an arm across, and then the second time he looks to almost just force the elbow across.
Well, he's going to have a look at this as well, the referee. And poor Ali Ganji, who went down. This could be a real problem here for Cristiano Ronaldo. Morocco have taken the lead against Spain in the other game in this group. It's Spain 1, Morocco 2 right now. And here is a potential red card. The VAR being used to see whether Cristiano Ronaldo is going to be sent off for a flinging elbow that's crashed into Mortazar per Aliganji.
Well, this could determine how far Portugal could go in this tournament. I'm not sure there's a huge amount in it. They're both having a little bit of afters, but he certainly feeds that arm across towards his throat.
Do you feel he may decide this is a yellow card? He certainly catches him on the jaw with his forearm.
It's difficult because they're both at it. They're both sticking the elbow in.
Well, he's had 2 or 3 looks at it already.
Ganji, he's certainly elbowed Ronaldo in the stomach to start with, or at least a small elbow, but has he been drawn in, Ronaldo?
Enrique Caceres is just shaking his head as he's watching the footage, and they've taken it back a little further this time for him to have yet another look of that outstretched arm. But clearly the team in VAR feel it's something he should have a look at that he may have got wrong or may have missed. I don't think he probably saw it at all. And at this point, Enrique Caceres strides out onto the playing field. Cristiano Ronaldo looks pensive.
He does. This is massive.
Well, he's telling nobody as he strides out towards the centre circle, which is where he can find the Portuguese captain, Cristiano Ronaldo. And it's only going to be a yellow card for Cristiano Ronaldo. No red then in the eyes of the referee. He shakes his head, but Ronaldo goes in the book, and he survives with 7.5 minutes remaining.
Well, every single Portuguese supporter around the world takes a huge sigh of relief. How that could have changed their tournament. It would have been harsh because there was certainly some afters from poor Alagaji.
Well,
but Ronaldo did react.
Well, as things stand, Spain are still going through second in the group, despite the fact they are losing to Morocco. What a shock that would be. One of the shock results of the World Cup by far. Morocco were in really good form in the build-up to the tournament, but didn't really show it in the opening fixture against Iran. Showed flashes of it against Portugal, but they seem to have found their feet against Spain. They lead by 2 goals to 1, but as things stand, Spain will still qualify. João Mario's going off here. Well, we're under the impression that João Moutinho was struggling with injury, but they're going to give him the last 7 or 8 minutes here, probably just to try and shut things down in the middle of the park.
No, and we've just seen a really good replay on the monitor here of that challenge from Ronaldo. I don't think it is a red card. I don't. I think there's a bit between them both. Yes, he goes to just kind of shove his way across, but there's not a real sharp elbow going across into his face, in my opinion.
Carlos Queiroz is absolutely livid. I think there was a certain amount of intent, but it's not done with any force. I think you're right. I think it is a yellow card.
Yeah,
I think very harsh.
Not every challenge has to be a red card. I think that is a yellow card.
Ronaldo didn't even think it was that. No. But that's no great surprise. On that far side, Portugal have possession. 6 minutes remaining here on Talk Sport. Iran 0, Portugal 1. It's Spain 1, Morocco 2 over on Talk Sport 2. So we bring you every single game of this World Cup, 64 in total. Another feast for you tomorrow. 2 more groups come to a conclusion. We will have all 4 fixtures across the Talk Sport network. And as things stand, actually, Iran are going to finish bottom of the group with Morocco's victory, and both just a point behind Spain. Maybe that Lopetegui's departure has affected Spain a little more than we all thought.
There's still no getting away, is there, from that lack of pace they have at the back. Teams can sit and frustrate Spain. They're going to give you a chance. Same with what we saw with Germany the other night. Very vulnerable if they expose their 2 centre-backs to pace.
5 minutes remaining. Iran 0, Portugal 1 on Talk Sport. The goal from Quaresma separating the sides. Ronaldo's missed a penalty. He survived a red card review as well and just ended up with a booking. So even when he's not having the best of games, he's certainly in the heart of the action for Portugal. Here they come down the left-hand side with Guerreiro into Adrian Silva. Ball lifted out to this right-hand side where Cedric is waiting. Bernardo Silva comes wide and he picks up the ball, and now with a chance to run forward here for the Man City midfielder. Infield he goes again to Adrian Silva and to William Carvalho. They've patrolled the centre very well tonight. Ronaldo with the outside of his right boot sets that up down that left-hand side for the advancing Portuguese to try and get a ball into the box, but it's picked up by Ramin Rezayan, and he will drive forward now over halfway, but Carvalho's there to intercept the pass to Ansari Fad. And now a chance for Portugal with 4 minutes remaining to try and just eke out some more precious moments in this game. Down the right hand side, here comes Cedric towards the edge of the penalty area. He's got beyond his man to the byline, scoops the ball across but straight into touch and out of play for a goal kick to Iran.
I don't think they necessarily need to attack Portugal. I think they can just sit back and keep possession, just see this game out.
Well, that will get them top spot in the group. That's all they need to do. Probably part of the game plan that they come with, and be their most successful points haul for a while in the group stages if they can walk away with 7. I wonder how different it would have been had Ronaldo not stepped up in the closing stages in Sochi on the second night of the World Cup, when this wonderful tournament absolutely came to life. No wonder they call it the greatest show on earth. There's no doubt about it. As it's picked up by Carvalho onto Ronaldo. Lovely takedown at the edge of the penalty area by CR7 as he looks to drive forward on that far side. He's under pressure all the time from Ansari Fad, and he's fouled in the end, and the free kick goes the way of Portugal, 3 or 4 yards from the touchline on that far side. Starting to think ahead. Russia next up for Portugal if things stay as they are and they end up topping the group. I mean, based on what we saw from Russia today, you'd feel Portugal have enough when they go head to head in Moscow on the 1st of July.
You wouldn't expect Russia to sit back, certainly being the home nation, the crowd behind them. But I think Russia certainly would have looked at, again, this performance and shown that Iran on the break have looked dangerous. They just haven't had the quality to punish Portugal.
A wonderful sight of one of the Portuguese fans who's hitched his shorts up in a Ronaldo style. He doesn't quite carry it off like Cristiano does. That ball's launched straight in, the keeper takes it, and there's one of the Portuguese players who's certainly feigning, I think, a bit of an injury inside the penalty area. It didn't look like he was touched.
I'll give you 2 guesses who it is.
Is it Pepe?
Just the one then. Here he comes striding back upfield. I wouldn't mind, but it was him who crashed into the goalkeeper. I find it really pathetic to watch. There's no need for it. You're winning the game 1-0.
Here's Mohammadi down the left-hand side. Lovely bit of skill here from Mohammadi, charging forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Lovely touch on that time from Ansari Fad on the right. Reza Yan with a chance to deliver one into the penalty area. He does towards the back post, and Osmoon gets ahead on it, but just knocks it down, and it's easily cleared by the aforementioned Pepe from the edge of his 6-yard area. And it's him to touch on this near side for what will be a throw for Iran.
And it hasn't looked natural, has it, in this second half for Iran to push forwards and try and attack. There's no free-flowing football. There's no real idea of how. It's not as if they're getting it wide and getting crosses in. It's basically just we all run forward as quick as we can and hope that something happens.
Well, the VAR are talking to Enrique Caceres here. Right, they're trying to work out. Well, we're trying to work out exactly why. Mehdi was claiming a handball, and as that rolled off the arm of Cedric inside the penalty area, he was waiting some instruction. He's got his finger to his ear from the VAR official, just waving away Ramin Rezayan, and I suspect the opportunity to go and view it again will come his way in moments. Pepe's
asking him to go and review the fact that he put his head into the goalkeeper's stomach. He wants that reviewed. That's the issue. Players just wanting absolutely everything reviewed. Well, not allowing the referee just to make the right decision, which this isn't. Cedric's, being jumped all over. The ball skimmed his arm. Don't know where he's meant to put his arm as a defender in that situation when he's being grappled.
We're into 6 minutes of added time at the end of this game, and at this moment in time, Enrique Caceres is not allowing play to continue, and he's just stood in centre field. Now, whether that's because the VAR officials are having as many looks as we are, it certainly does hit the arm of Cedric after it's nodded down by Osmoon. There's no doubt about it.
It does, but...
And he's coming to have a look now.
He will come and have a look, but for me, Osmoon is climbing all over Cedric. So for his arm to be in an unnatural position is very difficult because he's being grappled. He's trying to lean back. Yes, it grazes his arm, but this is where defenders would be so unfortunate because it's not unnatural. He's being leant upon.
Well, it almost looks like that penalty that was in the Danish game given against Denmark the other day, which for me was very harsh.
Again,
in close range.
If you slow these incidents down super slow-mo, then yeah, of course the arm looks like it could be interfering, but that's a natural movement for how the striker's on top of him. The arm is naturally moving from high to low as he's being dragged down.
Enrique Caceres has re-entered the field of play. He's about to make his decision, and he's pointed to the penalty, and it is a penalty for Iran. We are into stoppage time at the end of this game. Cedric has been penalised for a handball. Pepe's not happy about it. They're all being waved away as they surround the referee. Adrian Silva gets involved to say to Cedric, please step away, and Iran have a chance to bring the game level on the night from the penalty spot.
I can't agree with the decision. I just can't. I don't know where Cedric's arm is meant to be unless it's strapped to his side.
Well, it may be here with Spain losing that Iran are going to end up going out. Spain actually have just equalised, and it's now 2-2. For a moment there, I thought that maybe Iran were going to go out based on goal difference alone, which may have been some scant consolation for them. They do have a penalty though. We're 2.5 minutes into 6 added.
There's still time for them to win it if they score this penalty.
Well, they trail by a goal to nil. We've had one penalty saved in the game already. It's going to be taken though by Ansari Fad against Rui Patricio from 12 yards, and he nets it into the top corner. It's a wonderful penalty. Patricio wasn't saving that, even if he had another goalkeeper on his shoulders. It's a delightful kick right into the top corner, and Ansari Fad has shown Ronaldo how to do it. He brings Iran level in the game. It's Iran 1, Portugal 1 with 3 minutes of added time to play.
Oh, if I dare say it, this is even more in the top corner than Harry Kane's was yesterday. His first just steps up, side, drills it side foot right into the roof of the net. Brilliant penalty, no keeper saving that whatsoever from Ansari Fad. And surely not.
Well, immediately we've got a clash on the far side as Portugal get us back underway again. It's a really lovely penalty. You just don't save those. A 17th international goal for the Olympiacos forward, and he brings us level at 1 apiece with 2.5 minutes remaining here. That's a little flick on inside the penalty area. Chance here at the edge of the box, drives the shot. It is going to break. Chance to finish. Oh, into the side netting. How's he not got that on target from 8 yards out? What a miss by Mehdi Tarami. What an opportunity. The ricochet fell for him inside the box, and from 8 yards on his left foot, admittedly from a tight angle, he's put it into the side netting. He has to do better. What a chance for Iran.
Oh, there was nothing fancy about it whatsoever. They just flicked it on and kept it alive, and then it ricocheted to Tarami. All he's got to do is angle this back on target. He's about 7 yards out, and he snatches at it to the near post, side netting. Oh, what a chance that was for Tarami. Just got to keep you cool at the vital moment, and he snatched away at the chance.
The hopes and the dreams of 82 million people were on the shoulders of Mehdi Tarami there, and he's put his effort wide. There's going to be a final change to kill some time here. Andre Silva is going off. We're going to see the introduction of Gonçalo Guedes for Portugal. We are into what would be the final minute of added time, but then we were in added time anyway when the penalty was checked and taken.
Oh, that would have just been absolutely incredible. It really would have been. What a chance for Tarami.
Luck was on their side as it fell to him inside the penalty area, off of a ricochet, but he just could not wrap his left boot round it and get it on target. It would have been the moment of a lifetime for him and for the nation. His name would have gone down in absolute history, and it would have sent Portugal home. However, we are in the final minute of added time. Is there more drama to come in Saransk? The Mordovia Arena is alive to the end of this game, and the way things stand right now, Spain are now finishing top of the group based on goals scored because of their 2-2 draw, and it would have sent Portugal home. However, we are in the final minute of added time. Is there more drama to come in Saransk? The Mordovia Arena is alive to the end of this game. And the way things stand right now, Spain are now finishing top of the group based on goals scored because of their 2-2 draw at this moment in time with Morocco. Iran have it on halfway. Surely time is running out. We're into time added on to time added on. Mohammadi gets it back and it's launched forward by Hosseini towards the edge of the penalty area. Desperate times. It's well run though towards the edge of the penalty area. Driven out wide to the left. Lifted in that time by Amiri. Too much on it. Oh, it's run out of play. They just tried to keep it in with a desperate header as Godoys and Amiri were coming down the left-hand side. It's finished in the game between Spain and Morocco. It's finished 2-2. So as things stand, all of a sudden it's Spain now that will be taking on Russia in Moscow. And for Portugal, they will head to Sochi to take on Uruguay. We're a minute into time beyond what was added on by the referee Caceres. There must be some more. And the hands are clasped together of the Iranian fans around the stadium. They are praying that the referee continues this game. 1-1. They need a goal to knock Portugal out of this World Cup. Right-footed. Ball is launched forward towards the edge of the penalty area. And Portugal managed to get it away down that left-hand side. Guedes will try to come forward. And there is the final whistle. Enrique Caceres says goodnight to Iran's participation in the 2018 World Cup. And there's yellow cards now being brandished at the edge of the game here. That's one that's gone in the air, and I think that's gone towards Cedric. He's deserved one throughout the game, really. Some very niggly fouls, and now at the end of the game, Carlos Queiroz and Fernando Santos come together in a hug. What a game of football, and what drama. Crestfallen are the Iranian players. They came so close, and almost at the end there, Mehdi Taremi with a chance to seal it and to knock Portugal out of the World Cup, but all he could do was hit the side netting. It was Quaresma's goal that put Portugal in front. A penalty from Ansari Fad levelled things up. Ronaldo missed a spot kick in the meantime as well, and then Taremi, well, he'll have nightmares about that effort tonight, that's for sure. A valiant effort from Iran, but in the end it's all in vain. They've been beaten in Saransk, so they've drawn in Saransk, but they are out of the World Cup. Full time here, Iran 1, Portugal 1.